Everyone, so I'm back with week 11 and this is the 12th of March until the 18th of March. And for this week, I wanted to get more into spring sort of vibe. So I'm decided to use the Craft Sensation paper collection. And I'm going to use this pink and green one. I've got 4 of these and then there's a few more that I've gained this year, but they're not quite so big. But I wanted to use this because I haven't used this for a while, so I thought it would be quite nice because it's quite springy, and I used it for one of my spring weeks last year as well. So they're just a bit harder, so this video is obviously a bit longer because they don't come with like actual cut parts and things like that. They're slightly smaller, so I do feel like I need to do a little bit more for the pages, but I like it. I like how it's come out, and it's good to use different stuff from your stash. So the first photo is actually a picture of Mango. So this was so cute. I could hear this noise in the living room and I was like, what is that noise? I could hear like scuffling. So I went to go have a look and it was Mango looking through her little toy box, which I just thought was absolutely adorable. I think she wanted the tunnel that we had a couple of months back. I think my mum gave it to me. We used to have it out, but then they stopped playing with it, so I put it back. But now she obviously wants it out. So the minute I got it out, she was done scuffling through her toy box, so I think that's what she wanted, bless her. And they do play with that tunnel every day, so it's still out. But I just thought it was so cute. All the paper that I'm using for this week has come from this collection as well, but they're very thin and they're very big, so I do have to do a lot of cutting down in order to get the right size. But I do actually stick it to the back of the previous layouts just for it to become a little bit sturdy, because it is literally paper. So it can get it's very, very thin. It rips quite easily. So by putting it on the back of the previous layout, it just makes it a bit more sturdy. So I'm just trying to find some bits and pieces for this one. So I use it. I'm not really sure what size card it is. It's not a 3x4. It's slightly smaller, but it just says "You are beautiful" on there, which she is. She's so cute. And then I put a little label sticker at the top and a sticker that says "Sweet Memories." This collection, it has so much stuff. Like, I feel like I've used it quite a bit, but there's just so much stuff in there. I don't know how I'm going to finish it, and it just never ends. Honestly, it's got thousands of stuff in that book, and as I said, I've got 4 of them plus more that I've bought this year, so they do last a long time. But I do find that they're quite repetitive. That's the only thing. However, I still love them, and I think they're very, very good value for money. They're like £3, and you get so much for your money. So they're really, really good. I think they bring some out every other year, but here in the UK, we do struggle to get them. They take ages to come out. Eventually, ones that came out about 2 years ago, we finally got. So they do renew every so often, but it's just quite hard for us to get them when they're brand new. So the photo is going to go underneath the title card. It's just a picture of me doing my Budapest album. So the Budapest album was a different one for me. I've already put it up on my channel, so you can go have a look at that one. But it was a smaller album, and I actually didn't use that much paper. I used a 12x12 paper pad, but I cut it down, and each 12x12 paper piece actually gave me 3 pages worth in the scrapbook, because I wasn't afraid of leaving some of the blackness of the pages behind it, and I just like how it came out. It's just a bit of a different album for me. I've not done an album that colour before, or that size, or just that way, so it was a bit of a different one for me. And I'm really focusing on getting it done because I do want to move on to my Maldives album, which I have now. I'm probably not even 10% way through Maldives album, but it's getting there slowly, and I do really love how it's coming out so far. I'm back to a 12x12 album, which I love. I haven't done one since I did Venice. So I've done three travel scrapbooks since then that have been smaller, so I'm back to 12x12, and I do love 12x12. We just get so much on the page and lots of photos and things like that, so I'm loving doing that. But that's been my bit of a mission to get through Budapest. I'm still actually doing some little bits to it because I wanted to put some ink on all the pages and glitter and stuff, but every time it dries I do another page and things like that. I didn't do it as I was going through them because I couldn't put wet stuff on the pages and then turn over the page to the next one, because obviously it gets stuck. So I sort of completed all the album with all the photos and ephemera and embellishments, and then I've gone through and put like the glitter glue in and the ink and all that sort of stuff. So I'm still doing little bits to it, but it is done. So I'm just going to put a little cut part that says dream big, work hard, just so I can put a little bit of journaling on there to say that that's what I'm doing currently. And I'm just putting some little stickers. So there's one that says blog, and then a word sticker that says dream big, work hard as well. The word stickers and the little labels are they're thin on the ground in this book because I do use them a lot. So I have to be a bit more imaginative about what ones I'm using. So the next photo it's going to go is actually a screenshot. So as I've said previously, I actually am working from home now for good. Like, it's finally dawned on me that this is my life now. So I have to do things, like I go for a walk and, make the most of that. So I thought, why don't I try audiobooks? Because I can read a book, obviously, at home, but then I go on for this walk and I think, well, what can I do on this walk that's going to encourage me to go for a walk? And I thought it might be quite good to try audiobooks, because I don't feel like I will get them mixed up between the books. That's what I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about having two books on the go at the same time. But I feel like having an audiobook and a physical book is different. However, since I've done this page, I decided that audiobooks are not for me. I just can't concentrate. I can't concentrate on the story. When I'm out and about listening to the book, I listen to it fine. And then my mind wanders, and then I've forgotten what they've said. And it's one of those things where you can't keep flicking back because you lose where you are. And so, compared to a physical book where if you do sort of zone out a little bit, you can just reread the last line. But I just felt like my mind was wandering too much. So I don't think an audiobook is for me, unfortunately, even though I love the idea of them. But this was one of them. I probably started with the hardest book. I wanted to read Pride and Prejudice. Oh God, I can't say that word. But I wanted to read this one because obviously it's a classic, but it was quite hard to follow along. But I still tried. So again, I just used one of those little cut parts. It says what she tackles, she conquers. However, I did not conquer this one because I just knew it wasn't for me after it. And then I've just put some little stickers around it that I'm going to put some journaling on and stuff about why I wanted to try audiobooks. So then the photo that's going to go underneath on the left-hand side is actually a picture of our kitchen. The dishwasher broke. And after my previous layout where I told you my car broke, this was just like, why? Why would this happen to me? So our dishwasher broke, and at least it's not the end of the world. You can still wash your dishes in the sink. It's not the end of the world, but it was just another thing that went wrong. So that's what we spent some of the day doing, trying to figure out what was wrong with it. We emptied it. We tried to clean all the pipes. We cleaned all the filters. We did everything we possibly could. But since then, it's fixed. So that's a good sign. So Joe's dad actually came round. We left it a week to dry out and things. And then Joe's dad came round. And what actually happened was it was a tiniest little bit of plastic that was stopping the motor going round. So it wasn't draining properly. So it's insane. The tiniest piece of plastic, you wouldn't even believe it. It was smaller than like my thumbnail, but it was stopping the motor going around. And since then, it's worked like a dream. So I'm very, very grateful that it's back to working order. So I've just put that on some paper. I'm going to use another little cut part. It says "You are gold, solid gold," because I'm so thankful that it's actually fixed rather than us having to go and buy a new dishwasher. And again, I'm just using some bits, a little yay sticker and an XOXO sticker, just to put some bits. I've just noticed I've not actually put some of the journal bits on here. I've done the main journaling, but not the little bits. So we'll need to go back and do those. But you can see here that, as I said, the stickers are quite low on the ground on certain places, like the label stickers, the word stickers, arrow stickers. There is certain colours left, but obviously I wanted to go for pink and green for this one and black. So I'm being a bit picky of which ones I'm going to do. The other pocket that's left over is just going to be, I'm just going to use some of the black paper. And there is some, they're not 6x4, but little postcards sort of sized cut apart that I'm going to use on the back of them. it looks like a postcard, actually, to be fair. It's got like a space for you to write on, and a space for like an address and stuff. So I'm going to use that as my main journaling piece for this week. So I just keep it quite plain, to be fair. I just use one of the little hexagon cut apart things with a little ampersand, and then a little word that says today is the day. But it does take me a while to do these pages, because obviously it's a bit more makeshift compared to obviously just using the cut parts that fit. But I do enjoy doing it. As I said, it's a bit more work, but it's definitely more fun. And I do like how they come out. They're very, very detailed, and they're very heavy with stickers and stuff. And I just think it's quite cute how it comes out. So I'm glad that I get to use these collections. I need to start using the other ones as well. I do always use this one, but I need to find, something to use my other ones for. But I'm getting quite good at using bits in my stash now. For my Maldives album, I've pulled out a lot of stuff, and I'm hoping I get to use most of it. Because, yeah, I do have a lot of stuff. I'm well aware that I have a lot of stuff. But I keep seeing people destashing their stuff, and I wouldn't be able to get rid of any of my things. I love all the stuff. And even if it's not my style now than it was back then, I still want to try and use it, because I bought it at the end of the day and I liked it, so I feel like I need to use it. And once I've used it, it's done and it's fine. And people that look through albums, they don't know what's new and what's old, and they just see the prettiness of it. So it really doesn't matter if there's a load of old stuff in your collection. You just try and find a reason to use it, and once it's used, it's used. So that's my little motto, is just use what you've got, don't chuck anything out, because you paid for it at the end of the day, so you want to use it. So for my title card, I'm going to use this paper. I deliberately saved it. I wanted to use the bit that's got the little sort of label in the middle, and I'm going to use that to put my week number on there. I do cut it ever so slightly off, but it's fine as it is. So I actually stick this upside down, but it's fine because obviously it's quite simple. I did keep it quite simple. I end up turning my alphas round and it's fine, but I do stick this upside down, so then the previous layout's upside down. But as I said, it was fine because it's what I do to it. I left it quite simple, so it didn't matter. I could just turn them round. So yeah, so you can see there it is, it's upside down. But even then I looked at it and I thought, yeah, it's fine. So I don't know what I was doing that day, but yeah, I realised it the next day or so, and I moved them around. So I'm going to use these alphas. They're just like marbly alphas, and just put week and then 11. And I'm going to use 2 blue little labels to go underneath, and I'm going to put the week numbers on those. I'm going to stamp on those. They do make me a little bit nervous stamping on them because they're quite shiny surface, so I worry about the ink sort of smudging. So I do leave it a couple of seconds before I put it into the pocket, just so it doesn't smudge. But they definitely, you can see the ink sort of spreading a little bit, so it's not quite as crisp as they normally are. So I'm just looking through to see if I can find any labels, and as I said, I do go for the little blue ones, and I just put the date on each of those. And again, because I did it the wrong way around, I do have to switch them around, because then the dates are the wrong way around because they're upside down. But yeah, it's just things like that, you just have to switch them around and it's all good again. But yeah, so this week, a bit of a not so busy week this week. I was a bit overwhelmed this week with everything that was going on, so it kept it quite simple, because as I said, lots of things were breaking, so I just took it a bit easy. So not as busy as the last couple of weeks, but now coming into April, we're busy every single week, so it's nice to be a bit more relaxed and have a bit of a chilled out week. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll be back soon. Bye.